So while most guys focus on tactics and figuring out what to say and how to approach, I figured out for me that the biggest shift has been not an external one, but actually an internal one. And if you're also on the journey of self-discovery, then this video is for you. So I've been meditating for, I would say, 6 or 7 years, and meditation, man, is great. Even if you're not cold approaching, even if you are just swiping your luck on dating apps, or you're, not into that, then meditation is actually pretty good, because what it does, at least for me, is it calms my mind, it relaxes my body, and you know that there are a lot of moments when in your day you want to distract yourself. So for example, you want to, say, scroll on your phone after you come home from work, or you just finished a meeting at work and you just want to go on the phone or just go on YouTube a little bit. And what I found with meditation is that it really helps me to stop that distraction from happening, meaning I just relax, I focus on my body, on my breath, and I crave this distraction much less. So meditation in itself, like just looking away from a cold approach, it's really good. It's something I'm doing every day because I want to, because it's as important for me as working out. And because you are working out, so you know that it's really important for your health, and meditation is the same. And now, how is meditation really working when it comes to cold approach? Like, how does it affect cold approach? Well, that's a really good question, because without meditation, I think that cold approaching would be much more difficult. And this is something that a student, I think I will be talking about him today. We're going to dive a little bit into that. Theodore. He said that without the inner work, so without the meditations and without the inner work, he couldn't have done it. And also another student of mine, Eirik, they're actually both like been coaching too. Actually, it's pretty interesting how guys go from being coached to coaching themselves. Well, just like me. And he also said that without the inner work, without the meditations or the letting go, he would never have been able to do it, in especially how quick they both did it. Because they both went from having 0 girls in their life to sleeping with girls on the first date multiple times. So both of them talked about how important the meditation was when it comes to the cold approaching, when it comes to their dating life. So, well, it's definitely important. And for me, it's been crucial, man, because when you are in a scenario where there's so many stuff happening and you don't want to mess up in the social situation, so you're kind of lost, like, what do I do? I don't know what to do, like, I'm so stressed out or so anxious. And this actually helped me this previous weekend. I was out and I was clubbing, and was with a guy who, man, he was on fire that night. I think he approached all the hotties, and pretty much all of them loved him. And for me, it was different because I just felt without going too much into depth about it, I just didn't feel at ease at all. So when I was talking with girls, I was not present. It was very difficult. I was just very stressed, and I wanted to escape the situation. I want to go home just to leave this, to distract myself somehow, just go away from it. But what I instead did, you could call it meditation, but I just went up to one of the floors which had a techno music, and I just danced, and I kept telling myself, Edin, I love you. Edin, I love you. Edin, you are enough. Edin, I love you. You're enough. I kept giving myself that unconditional love. And that's when I started to feel better. And suddenly I was looking around and I could actually smile to people. I could enjoy myself. And a little later, I also met a girl through, on the dance floor. And it all came from going within and giving myself what I needed. Because in the moment, I was also clueless, man. I was like chatting with ChatGPT, like, man, what can I do? And without meditation, I don't know what I would have done here. Probably have drank alcohol because I was out sober, and I would probably just drink or something like that, which we usually do today in today's age, to distract ourselves from these uncomfortable emotions. So that's what I didn't do. I meditated, or I was dancing, pretty much giving myself unconditional love. And I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have been here. I'm very. I wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for the meditation. I wouldn't have been here. I don't know, something else would have happened. But I'm very glad that I have the meditation. And it's not only that it becomes easier to find back to myself when I have meditation, when I'm out to a bar, or when I'm out in the street talking with some girls, or even when I'm out on a date. And about the dates, I'm going to say something very controversial, which I felt you could say a bit of shame sharing. It was kind of like a vulnerable space for me to share. And I'll share that in a moment. So here you go, cliffhanger. But it's not only been that it's easier to find back and feel peaceful inside. It also goes the opposite way. So, like, how does cold approach affect your journey of self-discovery? How does being able to talk with girls, or just people in general on the street or in the store or wherever, how does that affect your journey of self-discovery, you could call it, I don't know, spiritual journey or personal development? I call it self-discovery or integration process, healing journey. We have a saying in Norway, it's their child has many names. So this child is indeed very dare. And you know how difficult it can be to approach someone, because you might not be in a social headspace, and you might not know what to say, and there might be people around, and especially if there's a girl that you're interested in, like, what does she think about you? Then there's the shame around desire, then there's the desire, to stand out. There's so many things in our mind, which makes just going up to a person and saying something very difficult. And that's exactly why it's a perfect way of self-discovery, because it's so difficult. It's so challenging. It's like every like so many of the mind's fear, of the biggest fears, are coming from, or like, are you meeting them in cold approach? So I've talked with a lot of guys who are telling me how they are, for example, there's two MMA fighters that I've been talking with, and they're going into the cage, and okay, I'm doing some boxing, but these guys, they're like throwing fucking kicks, elbows, everything to kind of like take the other guy out. And they do it on a regular basis. But when it comes to, just saying hello to this girl at the store, no way, it doesn't work. It's so interesting, man, so interesting. And I think it comes from the fact that fear, the fear that we feel, the fear about not knowing what to say, which causes hesitation, the fear about her saying no and rejecting you. It's all these fears coming from the fear of the unknown, because you don't know. It's uncomfortable. It's out there. And when your mind doesn't know what is going to happen, when it's something that's unknown, then it can go into panic mode, or at least it wants to avoid that which is causing that fear. And if you want to discover who you are on a deeper and deeper level, then you need to go into the unknown, right? What's the other solution? You cannot go into the known, so it needs to be into the unknown. And if cold approach is causing so much fear around the unknown, then it's the best tool for self-discovery. Like, what else can you do? You can sit on a mountaintop, but there's sure, but what kind of fears are you meeting then? You're meeting none. But if you're living here and you go out and you're talking with girls, then you're gonna approach a lot of these fears. And when you're approaching fears, you're growing, right? So, and here's a nugget, a golden nugget. Something actually my student, so the student became the teacher, Theodore taught me. He said, face fear's bluff. And what he means is that fear is often bluffing. So it's an illusion. It's often saying to you, if you talk with that girl, she's going to become mad. And you face that bluff. So you go up and you actually become aware that she is happy and she is very friendly and she might even be interested in you. So you face fear's bluff. So there's another, you could say, what's the thing, benefit of doing this self-discovery through cold approach, which is, well, you get girlfriends or you get sex, which is fucking awesome. And when you're using this approach, which I'm often talking about, which is the inside-out approach, and this is the approach which you could call the spiritual approach, but it's the one approach that you don't focus on what you get from the girl. You instead focus on facing your fears and following your excitement, because what are you doing? Following your excitement. Whose excitement? Your excitement. So you're following that authentic desire. And during that process, you discover who you are. And then you face these fears, going into the unknown, more discovery. So it's the inside-out approach. Instead of focusing so much on what you get, you're focusing more on discovering yourself, and automatically you are now creating experiences which are needing courage. And if you know about the map of consciousness, if not, just Google map of consciousness, then, and YouTube just a video about it, then you will see that when you are doing something from courage, then you are always giving positive energy to the world. So you can always know that when you're acting from courage, then whatever you are doing is for the greater good. And it's a good sign that I've been using, or a great, I'm not gonna say sign, but kind of compass, inner compass, to know where am I going? Like, where's is this a good move to approach this person? If it requires courage, then most often it is. So the benefit also of then going from this inside out is that you let go of these outcomes, because you're now less focused on what you can get, because you are doing it for the sake of doing it, because you are now facing those fears, inner fears. You're following that inner excitement for the sake of doing it to self-discover, right? So you're not doing it to get anything. You're doing it because of the journey. And because you're doing it because of the journey, you need less validation from without. So it frees you from neediness. So now you're not as needy anymore. And if you know anything about cold approach, about dating, about relationships, then neediness is a big turnoff. And by doing this, you're freeing yourself from the neediness, because you don't need anything. You're doing this for yourself, but at the same time, because it requires courage, because you're now giving something to the other person, you're actually giving this other person something. So it's a great opportunity for good results for sex, for girlfriends, because it's attractive. And there's been a few examples. I'm sorry, man. I'm not cutting this video at all. I'm just making it very raw. So you're gonna have to watch me sip water. And I've had examples where this approach in my own life as well, other than Theodore, for example. I was on an Eckhart Tolle retreat where I've told this story before, but I don't know if it's on YouTube. And I met a girl there, and the way that I met her was that I had to let go of. Okay, so what happened was I had to stop. I had to kind of let go of getting her, and I know this is like, you can hear this in a lot of people are saying it. Let go of the outcome, and that's actually what happened. Because during the first 2-3 days, I was really trying to find a girl, because who doesn't want to find a girl on an Eckhart Tolle retreat? She's gonna be into spirituality and personal development. But I couldn't, and I was talking to girls here and there, but it was like felt kind of forced. And what happened was I was talking with one girl, and it went like kind of wrong and kind of bad. And I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go out tonight to this bonfire, and whatever happens is gonna happen. I'm just gonna go out and have fun. And I was chatting to this girl that I was not interested in, and then I was chatting to some guys and so on and so what. And I ended up meeting this girl on the bonfire. And it was not through approaching her. It was very random, actually. I had the intention of seeing a girl, but I was like, whatever. But I stood up and I freestyled for the audience around the bonfire, freestyle rapping. And then she came to me after. So, yeah, it wasn't the best example, but it's just another example of how you can use this to how it really works to be focusing on the within instead of the without, and it still gets you results. And right now, so I was telling you I was gonna share something juicy, something vulnerable. So what's been happening is about 2 months ago I had a breakup, and I have not been dating since. And I feel like I can do it. Well, I kind of know I can just go out. It's like 4:30 now. I can. It's actually 4:44, so 4:44. Synchronicity. I know I can go out now, and in a few hours, I'll find a girl and I'll take her out on an instant date. I know I can do it, but I choose not to, just because it doesn't feel aligned. It's like I feel that I need more space, I need more time, not to rush dating. But it kind of sucks, because here I am, I'm teaching you about how to date, and I'm not dating myself. So I felt shame about it, and I wanted to create this video when I started dating again, just to say like, yeah, I had this problem, I fixed it, but no, here I am. I'm a dating coach, or no, I'm more like an intimacy coach, but I'm teaching guys how to date, how to meet girls, and I'm not dating, haven't been on dates myself for the last 2 months, pretty much. Yeah. So here we are, man. We're in the same boat. None of us are dating. Yeah, but I'm not afraid, because I know we can get out of it. I know we can go out and we can date, and we can do it in a way that's healthy. And what that means is we will approach our dating life. We will approach it from a place of giving, and instead of then going out to get something and be feeling guilty for not approaching, and being afraid not to get a reply back or be rejected. We're going to approach this from a place of solitude is coming up in my mind. But the point is, like, we're gonna do it from we're gonna have a little bit of solitude. At least I'm gonna have a little bit of solitude. Kind of reassess and then come out from here. So we don't need girls, man. We don't need to be in a relationship. We don't need to have sex. And I know how much we want it. I do. I've been feeling frustrated. But we don't need it, man. And I'm pretty sure by us being able to be okay with not having it, by us being okay with not getting laid, by us being okay with having no girls in our life, by us being okay with not approaching, I believe we will have an easier time getting laid, having girls in our life, approaching girls. Because it's going to be less about getting those things. Because that's like a game which is like always the next thing. And trust me, I've done this for over a decade. It's you never get to the goal. You never become satisfied. But if we can become satisfied first, and approach girls from a place of desire, of course, we're men, of course we want to have girls in our life. We love women. And we love sex. And we love even the validation. We love everything about it. But the less we can approach it from a place of neediness, and more from a place of, okay, now I feel like I'm quite satisfied with my life, but I'm just lacking someone here. It would add to my life to have someone. It would be awesome to have girls in my life. Then we are approaching these girls going on dates, texting them, having sex, from a place of adding onto our life and creating stuff, creating relationships and creating experiences with these girls that we can enjoy because we're less afraid of losing them because we found ourselves first. We're not looking for ourselves in the girl, we're finding ourselves first. And by finding ourselves first, it becomes easier to flirt. I was trying to rhyme this time. And this is the package that I'm giving you. This is the gift. This is the present. Pretty much my coaching. It's helping us guys to meet girls from a place where we already feel enough because we've done the work. We're meeting girls from a place of self-discovery, of being able to give because we are aware of how we can give ourselves what we need first, so we can give girls what they want and therefore attract them instead of chasing them. We don't hate ourselves for not approaching. We don't hate the girl or ourselves when we don't get to her. And we are just, awesome people because we have a good vibe and we are sharing this vibe because we are able to, because we take care of ourselves first. And this is the inside-out approach. So I have a newsletter where I'm sharing almost every day. Every time I have these type of insights, I distill it into like a short letter and I send it to your inbox. And it's all for free. And you can join. Just click the link down below if you haven't already joined. And that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, man. This was a fun experience. And peace.